Hi, I'm Dave Epstein, and welcome to this edition of Growing Wisdom, where today we're going to talk about caring for your lawn in autumn. So fall is a great time. As a matter of fact, it's probably the best time to really get your lawn in great shape so it looks good all year long. As you can see, my lawn looks pretty good. It's mainly green. Now, there are a few weeds in it. We're not about perfect lawns, we're just about healthy lawns, and there's a big difference. Let me show you a couple of areas of my lawn which need a little bit of tender, loving care. We're going to show you how to fix them using sod. So your lawn has some damage from the summer, or perhaps you never got to something from last year, and two ways in which you can repair bare patches. One, you could sod them. Two, you could seed them. Let me show you how to do both. So the most important thing, whether you're using either method, is to have the soil loosened up. So you can see down here that we've loosened the soil up. This particular patch gets ruined because the lawn mower comes in here, spins around, and his wheels continually ruin this spot. So I end up having to patch it quite often. So if we want to put seed down, simply loosen the soil. We get a good quality grass seed. More is not better. You don't want a ton of seed, so doing that isn't good. So I like to have my grass seed about 1/4 to 1/2 inch between each little seed. So some of it's fairly tight together, some of it's not. You can see how we've put it there. And then two other things that are important. Number one, I like to cover the grass seed with some peat moss. So we have some peat moss here. We're just going to lightly cover the grass seed with the peat. And the second part here is we've got to keep this evenly moist until it germinates. We shouldn't let it dry out, but we don't have to be watering it every day. During the fall, grass seed will germinate generally in anywhere from as little as 3 to as much as 12 days. So as you've just seen, we've put seed down. Now I could choose to put sod down. So I'm going to show you the same area. Obviously we have the seed down there, but this won't matter that we're digging this up. What you want to do is get a nice sharp edge, and we're going to clean this up. So our area is now prepped for the piece of sod. Now, sod generally comes in 5-foot lengths. You're going to have to cut your piece of sod to fit your square. A couple of ways you can do it. You, of course, can measure it if you want to be real specific, or you can eyeball it. So we have our nice piece of sod here. And sod's interesting. The way that they do this is that, you know, they have a big sod farm, and they come in with a sod cutter, and they take off the top part of the grass. And what you want to do is ensure that the bottom of the grass, the piece of sod, is in good contact with the soil. You also want to be sure that the edges here are in contact with the existing sod or the existing lawn. If the edge is exposed, this is going to dry up and die out, and then you'll start to get brown around the edges. That's real important. The nice thing about sod, it's very forgiving, so this particular piece I could use somewhere else, and I end up doing that around the yard. You can take pieces that are fairly small and patch other spots in your yard using sod. I don't mind that the sod grass is different than the existing grass. I just want the lawn to be healthy and green. I don't mind that there's different types of grass in my yard. So you want to be sure that the existing piece of sod is at the same grade. You don't want it too low or too high, otherwise you're going to have a spot there where you're going to dip into, or it's going to come up a little bit high. So be sure that your grade is the same. And then again, around those edges, you want to ensure that the edge of the sod meets the edge of the existing lawn. One of the last things I do if I'm using sod to patch a hole like this, I fill in with a little bit of soil around the edges. Again, I want to ensure that the edge of that sod is not exposed to the sun so it doesn't dry out. I'm going to put a little bit of seed around the edges. Work that in. A little bit of my peat. As long as I keep this watered, in a few weeks you'll never know the patch was there. A long hot summer can really take its toll on a lawn. By following these steps of reseeding or resodding, you're sure to have a healthy looking lawn not only this fall, but into next spring. For Growing Wisdom, I'm Dave Epstein.